want to thank our young, or youthful, I should say, chairpersons for doing a splendid job in hosting us. Let us give them another round of applause. Your Excellency, Dr. Sir Cuthbert Sebastian, our Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, my distinguished cabinet colleagues, in particular the Honorable Marcella Liebert, and other distinguished persons who are here at the head table, our visiting ministers and other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are here in the audience at the Marriott, and those who are listening live by way of radio and the internet. I'm very pleased to extend welcome to all delegates here to attend the UNICEF midterm review meeting, and I hope you have been enjoying so far the talent that has been presented for your pleasure. Let us give those who performed a tremendous round of applause again. I do extend special greetings to the representatives of UNICEF, and also, of course, to our Madame Michelle Giles McDonough, who is the UN coordinator, resident coordinator in Barbados. And I also, of course, want to bring greetings in particular to those who have come from the OECS Secretariat, led by Dr. Fletcher, as well as to the representatives here from Barbados and the other territories. This review meeting, like those that went before, is important in the context that children today face some of the most pressing challenges that are complicated by many issues, including family dysfunction, wars, health epidemics, inadequate nutrition, abuse of all kinds, inadequate access to health care, education, and nurturing environments, to name but a few. So the task that we all have is to be able to identify in what ways our children of the Eastern Caribbean are being impacted, assume responsibility, and ensure that speedy and appropriate systems and services are put in place to rectify our challenges. We live in a highly dynamic world where problems are our ever-present companions. And it seems that the charge to address these problems must be sustained, must be effective, because while one set of problems may recede into the background, a new set quickly emerges as replacement. Policies, programs, and targeted activities must regularly be reviewed to ensure that we are being effective with our various strategies. The Caribbean has its peculiar set of problems. Yet in some ways, we have challenges that can be found in many parts of the world. This is the case as it relates to our children. In the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, we have our own share of challenges that we take most seriously and strive to incorporate appropriate courses of action. For instance, in 1990, this country signed and ratified the Convention on the Rights of the Child. We have amended several pieces of legislation that affect our children, including the Juveniles Act, the Education Act, as well as the Probation and Child Welfare Act, or Child Welfare Board Act. We are participating in the OECS Family Reform Project, and several model bills are being reviewed. Just recently, my cabinet approved the St. Kitts and Nevis Early Childhood Policy, which upgrades the 25-year-old early education program. Overall, the OECS Secretariat is assisting member countries to address critical children's issues such as juvenile justice, the legal status of children, and that of adoption. There is universal access for preschool and government nurseries in this country. Assistance is given to private providers, and services are available for parents who choose to or cannot send their children to preschool through the Reaching the Unreachable program. There is universal access also for all children to primary health care, and St. Kitts and Nevis has achieved 100% immunization. Further, back in 1990, Cabinet reaffirmed the right for teenage mothers to return to schools. And through what we call Project Viola, support is being provided to teen mothers, helping them to complete their education. And so, ladies and gentlemen, these policy frameworks and programs, they are quite indicative of government's commitment to the rights of the child, not only because we have signed a convention, but more importantly, it is the right thing to do. The reality is that a country's future resides in our cherished children. Our obligation, therefore, is to prepare the path and provide the opportunities, to provide the systems, the processes, and the environment within which children can properly develop and reach, I emphasize, their full potential. The enabling environment and the empowerment of our children must be of sustained priority in all of our Caribbean nations. Currently, a national protection protocol is being developed to provide a framework for a coordinated and collaborative response regarding children protection issues. Cases of child abuse exist everywhere in the Caribbean region. But while such abuse is mostly connected with domestic situations, it is no less serious than those impacted by cultural norms, those impacted by wars and ethnic conflicts. It is vital, therefore, that legislature and protocols diligently protect our children from violence, from drugs, and sexual abuse. But are these protocols being applied? A fundamental question. It was just yesterday at the weekly meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers, the Honorable Nigel Carty, our Minister of Education, and the Honorable Marcella Liebert, our Minister of Health, etc., raised in our discussions the challenge of protecting our students in our schools from pedophiles, some of whom may be even preying on our victims as children within the school community. It is often said that knowledge is power, but just as critical is the fact that the citizens of the country must have confidence in the systems. Our task, therefore, is not only to pass legislation and to develop the various protective protocols. Our responsibility, of course, must also be to inform, to raise awareness, and to educate on the way the systems work for the protection of our children. Civil society and non-governmental organizations can play special roles in this regard.